The first video I uploaded to this channel depicted the process of me learning how to play the piano, filmed over the course of 6 months. That video was uploaded almost half a year ago, and June 27th this year marks my first full year of playing the piano. And on that occasion I wanted to do an update video to show you guys the progress that I've made since then. Now, the first video was really just a bunch of clips of me attempting to play the piano edited together. So I wanted to do something a bit different for this 1 year progression update video. So what I will be doing instead is that I will attempt to learn a new piano piece by June 27th, giving me about 30 days. I then want to take you guys along with me to sort of showcase the learning process that goes into learning a new piece of music for the piano. Now, the piece that I want to learn is one in particular that I've really grown to fall in love with, and that is the Fantaisie Impromptu Opus 66 by the composer Chopin. Now, since I only have a fixed amount of time, I don't expect that I actually will be able to learn the full piece before the 27th of June. So instead I will be focusing on learning the first section, which is also the most difficult. Now, I've actually cheated a little bit in that I have already learned a simplified version of the first section of the piece. But the challenge really lies in that the simplified version, while it does actually contain the correct notes, it takes out the element of the piece that actually makes it really difficult. And that is because the real piece is something called a 4/3 polyrhythm. Now, what a 4/3 polyrhythm means is that while the left hand plays 4 beats, the right hand will be playing 3 beats. And that part really makes my brain hurt. So the version of the piece that I have learned goes something like this. So it's not only in a slower tempo, which is one thing, but if you noticed my left hand played the notes like this. And the way that it actually goes is that you're supposed to break up those notes and play it like this. And then you have to put that together with the right hand. And when I try that, yeah, it hurts. So that's really where the challenge lies. That in the next few weeks I have to learn how to play both left and right hand together. And I know that this is something that's going to take a lot of practice before I really get it down. And it's probably even a piece of music that is way above my level of playing. But I really want to challenge myself and see how well I can learn to play this section of the piece before the 27th of June. So what I will be doing is that first and foremost, I will be watching a bunch of tutorial videos to sort of get a better understanding of the concept of polyrhythm and how it works and how I can play it. And then afterwards, it's really just gonna be a lot of practice, a lot of repetition, and then I will see how far I make it by the 22nd of June.
These both together at the same time, we have a 3/4 polyrhythm.
Of course, the difficulty with this Fantaisie Impromptu is how do we put it hands together? We've got a polyrhythm 4 against 3, you'd have to know exactly how the notes synchronized.
Together, right, left, right, left, right. Together, right, left, right.
Okay, so I've been watching a bunch of videos and I'm slowly beginning to feel that I'm getting a better hang of just sort of the concept of polyrhythm as well as the polyrhythm for this particular piece. And one good way it was explained, I feel like, was that you have to sort of understand how, even though that you are playing different rhythms with each hand, the notes, whenever the beat for each hand repeats, they line up. The way that you have to do it is that you sort of have to play the right hand unevenly. So if you play the right hand unevenly, it's easier to make sure that the notes for each hand line up.
So at the end, if you play all 4 groups, you end up with this. Rhythmically, it's still uneven on the right hand, but after you place them, you have to keep one of them steady.
And it's a bit tricky, but I've been trying to play around with getting it to work for just the beginning of the piece. Alright, so I'm pretty much able to play through the entire piece with the uneven right hand rhythm. And it's actually pretty cool how once I got that cue, it really just sort of clicked, and the polyrhythm doesn't seem nearly as intimidating now as it did before. So the next step now is that I'm going to be slowly trying to increase the tempo while also trying to even out the right hand rhythm.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's try with a little bit of pedal. Okay, so that's actually sounding pretty good. I'm gonna try now to move on next to the scale that comes after that part. so today is the 25th of June and it is actually the last day I have to practice. The reason for that is that on the 27th I won't be home, so instead I will have to attempt a final performance of the piece on the 26th, which is tomorrow, giving me only today as the last day to practice. So today is the 26th of June, and like I mentioned, I won't be home tomorrow at the 27th. So unfortunately, I will have to do the recording today instead. So without further ado, this is my best attempt at the Fantaisie Impromptu by Chopin after 1 full year of playing the piano. So there you have it. Now, obviously that was far from perfect, and the time frame I gave myself was really unreasonable and way too short, considering that this is a piece of music that I would probably have to spend months or maybe even years to actually master. If I do have to focus on some positive learning outcomes, however, I would say first and foremost that I'm pleasantly surprised at the overall progress that I have been able to make after playing the piano for only 1 year. Secondly, what these past 30 days have also taught me it is that even though it wasn't perfect, with a lot of practice and persistence, I was still able to make it this far within a relatively short time span, which really just goes to show that you can learn much more than you think you're capable of. To finish up the video, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you find the content of this channel valuable in some way, shape or form. I recently hit 70 subscribers as well, so I also want to say that I really appreciate the support from all of you. But yeah, that was it. I will see you in the next video.